It has been 4 months. Hello and welcome back to Brothers and Dragons. My name is Bronze, as you all know, or if you have forgotten. Hello, my name is Bronze. And I welcome you to the very first session of a very large campaign that I've been writing over the course of 4 months, because I had nothing to do besides cry in a corner. So, once again, for this session, I am joined by the lovely Lock the Door. I'm also joined by Stan. Once again, out from the shadows appears a mysterious man with the name of the Satanos. And last but not least, our lovely princess who needs saving of a dragon, Princess Cece. So, a few ground rules, because it's the first session in a new world. I have posted some spicy shit in our Discord channel. We will link it during the break and afterwards, so that you may join. Because every week, starting from now, I will once again be uploading a small synopsis so that you can catch up for next Sunday's episode, should you have missed the last one. Also, in other news, to prepare you all for the campaign that is to come, I have written down a small, how shall we say, epic, to regale to you before the session starts. This will be new characters, this will be new classes, but most importantly, we won't shy away from difficult topics. Last few weeks, during some movements we won't mention, gamers have decided that a game can't be a game anymore to relax, to find yourself in difficult situations, to work yourself out of, for more understanding, for more compassion. We won't shy away from it because it's important for everyone to understand how it happens, why it happens and where it comes from. If you shy away from such topics, you will disregard the entire problem itself, in my humble opinion. So, we are 18 plus, we will swear, and if you see a goblin, start running with your pants held high. Without further ado, I shall regale you with a small story synopsis of what's going to come. It has been almost half a millennium since the Great Dragon Wars, in which the mortal races revolted against the tyranny of the 5 ancient overlords. Kingdoms crumbled, new alliances were forged, and where the dragons had fallen, the lands of Bracken were forever changed. And it is here where this story will take place and new legends will begin. The continent of Brackenwald is almost entirely surrounded by great roiling seas, save for a small connection to the kingdom of Valendrun in the south. Nestled in between is the ancient creaking forest and lots of farm fields. I lost my train of thought. Holy shit, I'm so nervous. Sorry. Let me restart. This is the location of the historical site for executions of the followers of the dragons after the Great War, Gallows Keep, where the start of this adventure will take place. It is almost entirely in the south of the continent of Brackenwald. On both sides, it is kissed by beautiful seas, and the salty ocean spray has coated almost the entirety of the forest with a small glimmer of salty crystal. And it's one cold Lent morning, out here in the forests of the region of Welderkin, where we find ourselves following 2 people walking down a road, traveling towards the old run-down village of Gallows Keep, because they heard about adventure to be had and maybe a little bit of coin. Cloaked in long, almost worn down brown down coats, we see one which has a hefty, almost hump to it. As you see the glimmer of a bronzen color flitter through the little bit of sunlight that is passed through the trees. Lock the door, will you introduce your character?
My character is a big dragonborn. He's a lanky one, but his bronze is skin. As you may not notice, he be having a long tail.
As you hear the of the tail dragging over the twig-covered floor of the forest. As he starts to look towards his traveling companion, and he speaks up.
Russell, you remember how much longer we may be traveling?
Well, I must say I have not really much knowledge of map readings, and I did not take a map with me, so in that case, well, looking at the changing of the land, maybe one day.
Alright. Hold on for a moment.
Satanas, you may introduce your character.
Well, my name is Russell, and I'm about a normal height of 1 meter 86. And I'm wearing more darker kind of clothes. Not really something special you see on the outside. It's just normal equipment. Big cloak around me.
Is there anything of studded leather or steel to be seen?
Well, you see through my cloak, so the wind passes by. You see a little bit of plated armor here and there.
But nothing special enough to be called a full suit. Alright. As you are traveling down the forest road towards the edge of the welder forest, the rain has been berating you for the last 2 days. Travel has been hard, and camping outside constantly, trying to protect your traveling companion, has been taxing, to say the least. If you want to roll a perception.
Yeah, I would like.
First roll of the campaign.
This is 17.
Nice. As you are traversing the path together with your companion Shay, you look towards the left as you see, flitting through the forest, a slightly older looking doe, not really that nimble anymore. And you think, maybe, just maybe, as you hear Shay's stomach next to you. What do you do?
Shay, my man.
I'm pulling out my crossbow.
Yeah, man!
It's a light crossbow and I'll be aiming for the door.
Okay, so if you quickly spot, it's about 60 feet length between you and the doe. So you, on a light crossbow, you will be rolling at a disadvantage.
Then I'll be rolling at the disadvantage. It's a 12.
Alright. As you fire this almost perfectly aligned shot, it flits between the trees. It almost seems to graze one of the stumps, veering the shot slightly towards the right, as it's once again almost bounced towards your target as it strikes true. You think. Russell, what you see, is due to the fact that he hasn't eaten in almost 2 days, he shot something else entirely, as I want Princess Cece to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, motherfucker.
Player kill number 1!
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's an 18.
It's an 18. As you definitely manage to avoid the shot for the most part, it does get stuck in a few of your linen clothing.
Yeah.
As you let out an exclamation of surprise, because you totally didn't see it coming.
Amazing.
As you let out a scream, the doe flees. Do you want them to see you or not?
No.
No?
No.
You might try. Roll a stealth check.
That's a 21.
Okay, passive perceptions.
14.
14 and
13.
okay. Alright. You're safe for now. They haven't spotted you yet, however, they both heard a strange out of the forest.
Jay,
What do you want?
what was the thing you hit?
I might be hitting that door.
Not quite sure anymore at this moment.
What you be hearing?
Yeah, I don't know, but it didn't sound like a no.
Let's hurry.
As you continue towards the target, do you want to chase or do you want to keep on moving?
I
Me
want
better
to
just be
check out.
hungry.
So you're going for the hunt.
That's the girl.
As they start leaving the forest path. Dalaran, how do you want to observe these two strange beings that have entered your domain?
I see the doe and I see them, I presume.
No, it was safe.
What's it?
What did you say?
What did I say?
Yes.
First I'm asking if I see both of them and the doe.
You see both of them and you need to make a quick spot check for the doe.
I'll quickly do that then.
Did he saw me get hit?
That was not in his questionnaire.
Oh,
True. Fucker.
that's an easy 22 on perception.
Yes, you see that it's trying to make a run towards the nearby creek, about 600 feet towards the north side of you.
600 feet.
Damn.
Ish.
Okay, that's that thing's
It-
quite quick.
It's trying to make its way there, and you know that about 600 feet away from your current location is a creek.
And how far is the doe?
The doe is currently 40-ish feet away from your tree location as it starts moving past you.
And I presume I understand that he was trying to shoot the doe.
You do know that that was his intention, however, when he fired the shot you didn't see it trailing anywhere near there.
Hmm. But I understand his intentions. So
Yes.
I'll just yell at him. This is how you do it. And I should.
As you hear a strange voice coming out somewhere the tree line, their passive perception is shite, so they only hear your voice.
12.
As you shoot downwards, it is an easy enough shot to make, you would think. However,
Sort of out.
with style and grace, the arrow doesn't hit the place you wanted it to hit, and it goes straight into the flank of the doe. It stumbles a bit, it falls on the floor, you hear the rustling of leaves and the breaking of twigs and a loud as it starts upping itself and starting to run towards the creek at a very slow pace. As you start following this sound, you see a small puddle of blood on the forest floor, and out of the tree line you see a shadow jump towards the ground. Dalaran, you may introduce your character.
I am a Wood Elf Ranger, an North Arcana Ranger. What?
That's too meta, man.
Oh,
That's too meta.
what do you mean?
Describe your characters. We don't know
Yeah.
them.
Oh.
Information.
I don't know what Unearthed Arcana is.
Oh, to them.
Yeah.
Duh.
I misunderstood, my bad. I am about, let's see, I'm 5'5". I am very pale, brown hair. My left eye is blue and my right is green. I just have some tattered cloth as clothing since, well, my trousers were primitive. I keep forgetting I'm talking to people. I'm not describing.
It's fine. As you see this strange yet elegant being jump on the first floor, and as he rides himself up, his hood falls, and you see two large pointed ears as his brown hair flows downwards, and he grabs his bow, and he says, "Fuck."
Survival check on the blood to see where he goes, I guess.
As he instantly, in front of you, starts to investigate the puddle of blood to define.
This dough is ours! And I start running towards where I think the dough is going.
Roll a d6.
That's 2.
Okay, you manage to stay straight on the path as you see Russell run by. Mine!
I'll be following you, man. We be hunting.
Let's get that food.
Have you caught up at this point? Or are you just still being scared?
I'm welcome to.
Dog. Pass. We seem to have some audio issues.
What do you want?
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulty.
Test. It should just be normal that this mic actually picks. It might just be to the sensitivity of all mics that they all pick us. Yeah, all the mics pick us up, so it might sound weird because of that. But it's very difficult to sound to proper setting where this one only picks us up, that one only you, and that one only them. So this.
Yeah, sorry, we don't have $2,000 microphones.
We could just, if we want to talk to her, that'll help, but that probably won't be.
It'll help a little bit, but it won't change.
I'll sit closer to the mic so
And
it won't be
yeah.
as echoey.
Enunciate a little bit. Speak with pride. So, you're running to the location what you presume to be of the dough.
I'm running right behind him.
You'll be running right behind him. You are trying to investigate.
No, as I see them running, I just go. I just calmly walk towards them.
Okay, and what are you doing, Al?
I'm walking towards him.
Okay, have you removed the bolt from your clothing yet?
Yes, I put it in my bag.
Okay.
It's mine.
As you start walking towards your brother, you quickly. Okay. So, currently you still count as two parties because you haven't actually introduced yourself to each other yet. So this is.
I need something in my belly, man.
So it's going to be a skill challenge against two groups. I want each of you to select one person to roll a survival. Okay, for group Elf, it's going to be Delaran, and for group Dragon Man, it's going to be Shadeen. So, 2 survival checks.
For Dragon Team, it's a 14.
Easy clap with a 21.
Okay, so as you both make your way towards the location of what you presume to be the dough, you follow the trail of blood. And then you stumble because you got caught behind a root. Thankfully, Shay isn't too far behind you, so he runs up towards you, helps you up, and he says, "Come on, man, me be hungry," as he starts running towards the location. As soon as you reach the babbling creek that is running through this part of the forest, you see a wood elf currently busy carving up the skin of the doe. As he looks up and continues.
Hi, me German. What do you want from their door?
Food. We have to eat, man.
Speak up.
We have to eat, man.
If you would like, we can always share. The nature is for everyone.
You may be a person from my own heart. Grant me a piece of them food.
Del, what is he saying?
I have no idea.
Russell!
I'm out, no doubt.
Do I understand this language?
Excellent question. You all speak common, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then yes.
What, yes? I didn't.
Yes, you understand.
Ah,
I also know some Elvish way.
That's fair. If you want to, you can try to speak Elvish to them.
I repeat my question in the English. Elvish way.
Elvish way.
You be a person of my own heart. Let me have this part of a kid you took.
I guess you want some food.
Oh.
Yeah, now you know. Since I've been talking Elvish, no.
I just got off a entire language, just give it to him.
Okay, swiftly and deftly and without a skill check needed, because this is a narrative part of the story, he hands you one of the doe legs.
I presume Russell's coming up as well.
Yeah.
I give him the other leg.
A little bit disappointed in myself for not seeing the root. Falling flat on your face, but I'm happy to see they land Shay alive.
As you walk up to them, you can see Shay look towards you, and with a big toothy grin, almost unsettling, he stands there.
Here you go, man.
I give him a leg as well. And I just, harvest whatever I just harvest whatever I can, and I just pass it out.
Okay, you get the better half of a deer pelt, so half a pelt, good condition. Not your best work, but not the worst either. Balancing. You also have a deer carcass to be dealt with, but the meat you carve off of it is enough for, let's say, 8 days of heavy consumption. It's an older doe, so not all the parts of the meat are in excellent condition. Some parts may be a little bit tougher than you anticipate or have a little bit of a sour tone through it, because it's old meat. And I don't know if you ever had old boar, but it's bad.
He said it. He said it.
I name dropped.
But is it 8 pieces for each of us? Or
No, 8 days.
Yeah, that's what I mean. 8 days in total, or for each of us?
Heavy solitary consumption. Otherwise I would have given you a group amount. It's for one person 8 days, 4 persons 2 days.
Not what I meant.
What do you
8
mean?
days worth of one person to eat. So
Yes.
if I would, okay, so they each have 2 days. I have 2 days worth.
Yes.
Got it.
So you all have 2 days worth of venison. Ish. Venison addendum.
Meat.
Venison adjunct. Meat. Alright. And as you are carving this, what are you doing?
Maybe it is smart idea to cook or to bake the meat to keep it for longer, so your bag is not going to smell like shit.
Are you asking me or are you telling them?
Oh, I be looking at him. He be questioning your mind.
How do you know?
Yes, how do you know?
Because I saw your face looking at him.
True, your passive perception isn't really that shite. It's not great either, but you could see an expression such as his. As he looks somewhat untrusting, somewhat dissatisfied towards Russell.
Do you eat your meat raw?
Sometimes, yes.
Oh. Yeah, for me it mostly wasn't a good idea to do, so I started with that.
Due to the kill I made in me hunting the deer, I do my ritual, my hunting ritual I always do.
Okay, as Russell, as you are speaking towards L, you look over towards Del as he, as you see his face covered in blood and him with a heart.
Eating the heart.
This is normal. He does that every time.
Does she have a reason for that?
I don't know, you have to ask him.
May I ask you?
I'm just ignoring and doing my ritual.
Yes.
Is the thing where you
You have to wait till he's done. He won't answer.
Make a perception.
I'm also chanting Sylvan.
Yeah.
Suddenly Satan.
Do I understand what you be saying?
No.
19.
19. It looks like a heart. You're pretty sure it's a heart.
I start to try and get some good wood from the ground to start a little fire.
As you start gathering dead pieces of trees and wood. Make a roll a d20.
That's 12.
As you are busy doing this, you grab some broken twigs with green leaves on them as well. And as you return towards the location of the kill, you have successfully finished your ritual. Shay is still watering out of the mouth, looking towards his
I'm
peak.
busy, Shay, I'm coming!
As he looks like a child who has just received a piece of candy and doesn't know what to do with it. You know, it's such a big chocolate egg, he doesn't know what to do. And as you look over towards Russell, you see some green leaves sticking out of the bundle of tinder and wood that he has gathered.
Good luck with that.
Do I know?
Good luck with that.
Do I know the surroundings and what kind of
Oh,
plants
shit.
grow here?
Yes,
What?
so
Do I know
we-
the surroundings and what kind of plants grow here?
Yes,
Are there any poisonous or toxic plants?
plenty,
You're
plenty.
So, okay, I will investigate that while he is the leaves and such he's carrying.
How do you wanna touch, smell, or look closely towards venomous plants?
Great question.
Or the suspicion
You
of
know what?
venomous
I'll
plants?
just wait and see if he gets a rash or gets sick.
Fair. Do you have a fire starting kit?
I have a tinderbox.
Hey!
So in the book he said to me that green leaves don't burn, so I might as well, before I start, maybe try to select some of this wrong shit out.
Okay. As you start to sort your pieces of tinder, your pieces of actual bigger firewood and fresher leaves, you start ripping off the green leaves from the twigs because they make for excellent fire starting material, because you can strip the bark right off, and if you crush the green just on the outside of the inner bark itself, it makes for excellent tinder. That's the knowledge you have from, you know, your grandfather. Uncle grandfather. Grandfather, uncle. And as you start ripping off the green leaves of the fresh branches, one has a few thorns on it, and you quickly nick the side of your arm. Nothing happens, it's just a small scratch. No, nothing happens, it's just a small scratch. Well, he is a variant human. So you never know. Variant, meaning something else. Meaning kinky. No. No face. Only scales. He is walking the line.
I will line.
Let me guess, love wasn't really in time?
True. Something like that.
Okay. As you have prepared your meat after an hour or two of slow roasting and chilling, is there something you want to talk about?
What do you want? Das Dingo.
As have you ever seen a crocodile devouring a piece of meat?
Yes, I did.
That's happening in front of you.
Nice.
Without the rolling.
Aw.
Very important.
If ik helemaal succes heb, moet ik het tekenfoto.
As he just rips off giant chunks and
Told you, you're hungry.
is there something you want to discuss amongst yourselves?
How close are we to our tribe currently?
This is the longest travel you had so far. You're not really sure. You do know that it has been about 3 nights. But even then, with the visions of the Horned One, you can't be sure. But you think 3.
So it's outside our forest.
Yes.
Okay.
It is outside of your direct territory. This is the first real day outside, really outside. And the first 2 people you met were these 2.
Alright. I'm walking up to him. And I
Two.
say, what's up with these guys?
Very uncertain. I don't know what to do with the scaly boy.
Lizard.
Yes,
Lizard man. He's a lizard man.
And the human is just the wacko. I don't know what to do with him.
They can't hunt.
No.
No.
By the way, was that you I heard yelping?
No.
Inside check.
Deception
Deception.
versus insight.
$16.
7:13.
7:30.
You're not really sure if it really was him. It could have been the doe. It sounded like the doe.
Did I see another shot that had hit the doe?
Not a chance to further this discussion. You're under the understanding that at least it wasn't him. You think so.
And then I grabbed the arrow.
I see, what was the guy's name again? Oh, wait, no. I don't know where I was going with this. It's out of character, I just said that. Let's just introduce ourselves to them, like, at least be friendly.
As you see, his scales are a mixture of almost deteriorating bronze and beautiful polished bronze, woven in between each other, glittering through the little bit of sunlight that shines through. the rain itself.
So, who might you be, lizard?
Man.
Aye, for I am not be a lizard. They call me what you folk may be understanding like a dragon.
Big lizard.
Yes, big lizard but with wings and they spit fire. Well, some of them.
Do you?
No, I be spewing a lot of different things. No, I be a bronze dragon. I be spewing some lightning.
How come you're so small if you're a dragon?
I am not a perfect dragon, but I am descendant from dragon.
You are perfect in your own way.
Inspiration! Inspiration!
I'm giving him a slap with my tail.
And 1 damage.
Well,
r/I'm 14 and this is deep.
Oh god, fucking damn it, that was amazing.
And how about you, human?
As Russell is currently writing something in his journal, checking a map.
Hi mom, I was being funny today.
well, my mom always called me Russell. But how about yourself?
You can call me Dalaran.
And there, how?
Dalaran.
Delarin.
Yes.
I might have one question for you.
What might that be?
Why did you eat the heart?
It is part of my ritual, how I worship my god, the Green Father.
So
The whole
weird folk living in this world, man.
It's the way of nature.
And you,
Roll history.
what be your ritual? Consuming the ass?
No, I tried it once, but it wasn't my
It's
thing.
a 1 and it's a total of 3.
A natural 1?
Yeah.
Hey, first natural 1 of the campaign. So, in quick succession of but 2 or 3 minutes, you earned 1 damage, you earned 1 inspiration, and you rolled your first natural 1.
See,
That's a lot of 1s.
that's
That's a lot of nothing! The Horned God or the Green Father they speak of doesn't really ring a bell to you. So you might suspect that it's a local legend or a local cult god. You're not quite sure. But you haven't heard of it or read about it.
Might be that I come from a different place. I don't know anything of a horned god.
The Horned God is one with nature, as you would call it. Mother Nature is the Horned God.
That's interesting.
It's not a mother, it's a father.
As all sound around Russell, all sound around you dies. The falling of the rain, the creek itself, the creaking of the trees and the cracking of the pebbles all stop. As you hear, whispered to you, Russell. And the second you hear that, all sound continues.
What is
What
wrong
the fuck
with you?
did you do?
Stay away from the voodoo man.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but
He tried some of the mushrooms, I think.
I might be schizophrenic, but
Schizophrenic.
Ah, schizophrenic.
What just happened to you?
I didn't hear anything anymore. Then I heard my name,
Which is,
and then everything came back.
you never introduce yourself.
I told
Yeah,
my
you
name was
did
Russell.
it, man.
Oh yeah, my bad.
This is just him playing him.
Yeah, True, I totally forgot.
But yeah, it might be have something to do with the magic truck from 5 years ago.
The what?
And what now?
Huh? No. I had a special place with my uncle.
Ooh.
In
What you be doing?
Inside check!
In Sylvan, I
Yeah.
say to Eldrin, I think we both know what he means.
Yes.
What you saying there?
Nothing.
Yeah, well, you guys are brothers, so.
True.
Oh yeah, we are identical twins. The only difference between us is that
I'm
my
handsome and he's not.
what?
I'm handsome and you're not.
No, your right eye is blue and
Yeah,
left is
true.
green. My left is blue and my right is green.
What's your charisma?
11.
What's your charisma?
12.
You are the prettier one of the two.
I said it.
As you carry over the rest of this conversation, you feel a little bit left out because no one asked you anything.
No. True. Fuckers.
As the hand of God reaches downwards, and shoves a fist right in the back of Shay so that he starts coughing.
Oh,
Oh, I did shit.
do I shoot from pew pew?
Maybe a spark or two. Just
What the fuck is happening here?
Is this an area that you know
This is the first time I've traveled within these forests.
Yes.
of? Maybe it is the forest.
It is kind of a
It
forest.
is a forest.
Well, the powers of the forest might be working. Maybe it's a good move to get back on the road.
No.
in the forest.
is my home.
On the road in the forest.
The road is
Road.
the forest.
In forest.
He be walking a thin line, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A forest's a forest. Even if you build a castle in forest, it's still a forest.
But we know be him.
Yeah.
Who might you be?
My name is Eldrin.
The who and what
You can call
now?
me El.
Well, you only a name or you're a person of yourself.
I'm a person. Yeah.
And is there anything more to describe about it?
As Russell starts poking you to check if you indeed are a person.
Yes, this is indeed you.
I am a person.
These are not the magic mushroom.
Well, what eye was it again? You said it.
Your right eye is blue, left is green.
My right eye is blue, my left eye is green. And I have long brownish hair. Look like him, but handsome.
I be saying you be a little bit prettier than this one.
Roll deception? No.
That's
It,
what
it was a joke.
It's that joke, man. Yes, I can talk your language.
Do you speak Draconic? Well,
What you want?
he called your mother a fat cunt.
And I'll be speaking with the pew pew.
A little bit of lightning in your mind.
You be seeing thunderbolts flying.
I'm like, okay.
So, where are you traveling to?
Well, actually, I have here a piece of paper.
Well, damn.
And, well, my journey started when my uncle gave me this, and I wanted to find out what was on it, but I do not speak the language or read it, or...
Your uncle.
May I see it?
You promise to be careful.
Pinky bones.
Inside, do I trust him or not?
You may try an inside check, yes.
Do I need to roll a persuasion? Is it
No.
not lying?
No.
It's a 6.
It's a 6. You're not sure. You just met the guy, but he gave you meat. But you just met the guy. The choice is entirely yours if you want to trust him or not. But
I'll
from
give you the hope of good faith. So, yes, you may.
As he hands you a beautiful scroll of vellum, encased on both sides with pieces of rounded and intricately carved brass. It has a belt around it that when you loosen it, it rolls out into a map with strange pointy things on it. It's a piece of paper with pointy things on it. You can't read!
I can read Elvish, Sylvan, and Deep Speech.
You can't read! You can't read this.
Oh. No clue, mate.
Well, that's too bad. Well, that's where my journey started, and on my journey, I met this fella.
Yeehaw!
Hey. We be met in.
Pascal?
I will call the break early, so that we can fix the audio.
Of course.
So, we will be back in about 10 minutes to fix our beautiful audio. I am raping your ears right now, but we will try to fix the audio before we return. See you in 10 minutes, you beautiful bastards.
hier, dus waarom zit jij daar?
Are we back?
Yep.
Are we back? Can
Back,
people
bitch.
hear the dungeon master? Rose, sweetie, you beautiful woman, can you hear me? Can you hear the serenation of my voice? Can you hear my enunciation, pronunciation, and the sultry sound that I am exclaiming? Okay, guys, speak.
Well, welcome back to the session.
Abidjan, man.
Stay
Stay
away
away from the voodoo.
Can you hear the idiots?
Hey.
Much better.
Just the
We're back.
Bitches.
Back
Back again. Nice.
Ladies back.
Pause the shit for the
So, where we left off, the kill was just made. They were sitting around the campfire. They were discussing. They were discussing some things I forgot. Oh, right. Your journey towards where you were going. So, Shay,
Yeah, man. What do you want?
you were going to explain your journey.
Hey. Yeah. We met at the gates of Drosdaram. You found me because people, they will not be liking my kind.
What's a Drosdaran?
Enunciate.
What's a Drosdaran?
Don't you know
No.
where you be living?
We are from a small tribe within the forest, not 3 days from here.
Have you been closed off?
You could say, in a way.
That might be explaining. He found me at the gates of a city. It's a bigger tribe than you, I presume. And the other people not be liking my kind.
I'm having a real hard time understanding what you're saying.
Why didn't they like you?
Russell, can you explain?
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Well,
You're welcome.
people don't really get quite excited when they hear dragon.
Why not? That looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
It looks awesome.
Yeah. Well, I saw him and
Thank you, my kind
he
friend.
was like laying there. I thought he was almost dead. So I went up to him and gave him some food, gave him some to drink.
You're a good man.
Yeah, we started to talk. Well, it's a quite nice person. I like traveling with him. But just, you know, common society is not really happy with things that have to do with dragons, especially not if they have a beating heart.
That's a fair statement to make.
So, well, there's that.
I don't see the issue. He's part of nature. He should be worshipped in a way, just like every living being.
That's good to hear.
Get that green thumb out of your ass.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
This one be thanking you very kindly.
I'm starting to understand your accent.
Das Dingo.
Never mind.
No, I don't know.
I'm the dungeon master and I don't even know what it means. I do because I played World of Warcraft.
Mm.
But
What is that?
Can you eat this?
So you are searching for someone that can translate your map, I presume.
Yeah.
dice from the chest.
My uncle told me there were things to find in this world that have been long been forgotten. And this map, it is some kind of clue, a hint, or it says some specific location or something. But, well, as I said, I'm not able to read it and I've never found someone who could. So I'm still looking for
Why are you here in a forest with no one around if you're looking for a person to translate said map?
Well, as I have been to Drosderan, a big city in our place, well, there are a lot of people there, but nobody can help me. So I might be looking for something further away.
Okay.
Will they be not be speaking our language?
You do not have any knowledge of what language it could be, just no one knows it, you don't know anything.
Man. My uncle didn't tell me. I found it inside, well, one of the shelves. And he sat next to me and he said, yeah, I can speak it as well. I don't know what it says, but he knows there was a rumor to it that it led to something from the old world, from forgotten things.
Roll history, both of you.
Ooh, I can do that.
The elves,
The elves.
Yeah.
History.
the e-boys.
It's a 21.
21.
10.
Okay, you have heard it because he is constantly telling you about it, but the legends and the stories around the campfire talk about a great calamity that happened 500 years ago, when giant beasts were still ruling the land, dominating it, twisting the peoples towards their own will. They got fought against and they were destroyed. And from this destruction, artifacts of mighty power fell from the skies into the ground, buried in deep crypts, buried in giant structures of man. These hold not only power from the old gods, but from your gods as well, because your gods were born during those days.
Well, there you have your explanation.
No, I've given the explanation to you.
Yes, I know.
So,
But as you speak, keep you relaying the information for us.
as you know, all are privy to this information.
Yes, I have told you.
As I said, there were rumors of things from the old world that have been forgotten, or maybe they use it and nobody talks about it, what it really is. And I'm trying to find something.
Can I see that, Matt?
Are you gonna be careful with it?
Of course.
Is this going to be a running gag?
Is this going to be an inside check?
Yes!
It's a 6 again.
Okay, same answer again. It's your discretion.
Well, you two look very similar and come from the same place, and well, you haven't stabbed me yet, so I think I can trust you. So be careful with it, don't drop it please.
As he hands you the map, I want Shay to roll a d20 for me.
19.
Okay, as you are handed the scroll before opening it, the rain falls silent. The creek stops its sound. The cracking and the creaking of the forest that is encompassing you falls on deaf ears, as you hear only the thrumming of your own heartbeat. And suddenly, whispered in your ear, you hear, "Fake one."
What?
As the sound returns,
Oh.
You get it?
I understand out of character.
Ah, I don't.
no one should.
No one should.
Let's see if his assumptions are correct when it happens.
Alright. Well, I tell them what happened. Everything went silent. Just like you.
Did they call your name as well?
No.
Did they say something to you?
Yes.
What did they say?
What was it? Fake one? Fake one, he said.
That one?
Just, I grabbed it.
Russell, this map was given to you, correct?
I found it in one of the shelves of my uncle.
Inside a chest on a shelf in.
I know, but does he have knowledge that you have this item?
My uncle knows I have it. He said to me, take it with you. But how he got it,
You look too bronze.
I don't know.
So to you it said Russell, to him it said fake one.
Well,
My
I did not have it in hand when everything went silent in my head.
Is he a fake one? Is someone a fake one? Are you fake?
I don't know.
Are you fake?
Are you fake yourself?
No.
How can you tell?
Am I fake?
Am I fake?
Am I fake?
Are you fake?
I don't know. Am I fake?
Is everybody fake? I don't know.
What is fake?
This feels real.
But I opened the scroll.
Okay.
There's something.
You see some strange squiggly line behind your eye.
Ah. Alright. Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, bloody hell.
Nope. But it's a nice map though.
Yeah.
Yes. Looks great.
Pretty paintings.
Yeah. And pointy things.
As the sun slowly starts to set, the rain gives way for just a tiny amount of drizzle. Once or twice a minute you feel a droplet on your face or in your neck. The rain seems to be subsiding for now as the sun starts to set. What do you guys do?
Well, at the end of every day I get tired. Maybe it's an idea we could set up some kind of camp.
And yes, this floor is made of floor.
Oh,
Interesting.
that's interesting.
If we're starting to state the obvious.
But maybe, I don't know about you guys. Well, I do trust him fully,
What is our plan?
as much as fully is. But
I just look at Eldrinth and I just go into a tree and lay down on a branch.
Okay. Athletics.
Damn.
That's
Or the dex-based one.
athletics or acrobatics. I'll go with acrobatics. That's a 13.
Deftly and swiftly you climb the tree that feels familiar because you know all life is equal. No, as you start finding a sturdy branch that you can lay upon for the night. As you see your brother doing what he does every night.
Alright. Do you know how to set camp?
well, I know how I can sleep on my own.
Okay. I climb in the tree.
Okay. Athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Both! That's the 16.
4.
Acrobats.
Okay. As he one-ups you and does it with a flip.
A nice flip.
No, a flip.
Just a flip.
Just
A regular flip.
Just a regular flip.
But it looks cool.
As you see these guys pulling out sheets of cloth and canvas and some iron stakes, and you see some rope as they start setting up a tent.
I do tie a rope around my waist so I don't accidentally fall off while sleeping.
Okay. Smart. Then again, you have been living in these forests for many a year, so I don't suspect you doing so.
That'll be safe and sorry.
Okay.
I wrap a rope
That's
around
what
my
you
neck.
get when a wood. That's what you get when you have a wood elf with autism.
Exactly.
He wants to be sure, even though he knows he can. So,
You never mind, okay?
as you settle down for the night, and no one is holding watch,
I am.
you didn't specify.
True.
Well, goddamn. Well, as elves, you only need 4 hours, correct?
I don't know if that pertains to wood elves.
I thought it must have written that down somewhere.
Whilst you are looking it up, I'm continuing with my narration because it doesn't matter anyway.
No, what? I'll just leave it at that for now.
We have set up a tent,
Mm-hmm.
and we sleep inside. As we get inside, take off my cloak,
Yes.
and take from my bag, I take my shield. And because my shield is a little bit long, and at both ends it has 2 points, I stick it just at the entrance
As you
in the
hear the
ground.
of gravel as he puts his shield and puts it into the ground a little bit, blocking the entrance of the tent.
Inside of the tent.
Inside of the tent. Okay. As you hear the tearing of cloth. No, you probably already planned that way beforehand. So,
Every elf does have trance.
okay, perfect.
4 hours.
Doesn't matter. After 3 hours and 59 minutes. As you are drifting through the aether of the endless slumber that is the void, you wake up. You see that your brother is sleeping in, so it probably will be 5 minutes more for him, because he's sleeping in. And as you start to stretch a bit, to move around a bit, before descending towards the forest floor, everything falls silent. Same as what happened before. In your ear, you hear Dalarin. The voice seems almost agitated, or it has a strange rasp or creak. Almost like 2 pieces of bark scratching against each other. As 7 minutes later, he slept longer than you thought, your brother wakes up, falls down and hangs himself. No.
End of discussion.
Sheet, no. No. As you wake up and you see Dalarin looking at you with an almost blank stare, you recognize it to be what happens when he is startled. When he is shook.
Well, I climb down and I ask, what happened?
The same as happened to you. Everything fell silent, and I heard my name. Fake one.
We get fake one.
You're the fake one. I'm Dalaran.
And he, maybe I
He's
am the
Russell.
fake one.
Suspicious.
Very suspicious. I'm real.
What will you two do before dawn comes upon you in about 2 hours?
Someone destroying our forest? Oh no, it's Russell.
I guess I shall forage.
Okay. For how many people?
Everyone.
Okay, so for 4, the DC has been written down. You may make a survival check.
That is a 17, and I get twice as much.
Yes, I know.
Nice.
It's easy enough to find edible material. However, it is the beginning of Lent. So, not much is blooming. So, it's probably only going to be the early berries that are coming in and some fresher roots that are quite edible and quite tasty. After about an hour of foraging, you can start to see in between the slightly sparser canopy of the trees, you can see a small sliver of silver dancing on the edge of the leaves as the sun slowly starts to rise. You have gathered enough materials for about a day. containing mostly of land berries. So think elderberries, think in terms of grain, there is some wild barley here and there. Think the earliest of very sour blueberries, still sustenance. It's still sustenance. And some general root vegetable. No, I'm not calling it spring. Both work. Fuck you. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, Lent is the original name given and also the Dutch conversion of spring. But it's mostly used in Roman Catholicism.
Okay. The more you know.
So I'm not allowed to make up my own month names as well? No. Fuck you. It's Bardaguerri first, everyone. No. No, actually, no, it isn't.
Would be dope.
No, it's Sidaguerri one.
Actually, no.
No, it's the first of seed.
First of seed.
Yes. Seed. The first of seed. If you really want to know the difference. Currently, the two moons, one is full, the other one is new. So probably the large moon, Gros, is starting to wane towards new moon, and Lesser is going to, Kleiner is going to wax towards full. You're not quite sure when it will happen.
For the rest, I'm just gonna chill at camp.
After your foraging foray, you return towards your brother.
Keep an eye out.
As he comes back with the usual strange amalgamation of tasty roots and vegetables. And you see some sweet berries that you quickly take out of the bag and squeeze over a little bit of dried cold venison from yesterday. And start eating it with a slightly sweeter, tangy note as breakfast.
Breakfast?
Brekkie.
Practice.
Breakfast.
I was practicing my combat, by the way.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yes, after practicing combat, you probably will be hungry. So
Yes, I will.
the timeline will once again align. Do you want to train something specific, or are you just rehearsing your flowing movement? Okay. You look for a sturdy tree, slightly out of earshot of the two sleeping dudes, so that you don't disturb them. And for an hour straight, you start practicing combat against a few branches and making sure that your knuckles just barely hit the bark of the trees. And after about an hour, they feel nice and raw and not bloodied yet, because you have practiced for it a lot. And in the last 5 minutes, you really start hitting fast and making sure that you stop just at the edge of the bark.
Oh, fuck you up.
As day breaks for both of you. You once again feel cold scales against your back as he has cuddled up against you.
Is that just what I'm feeling?
Oh, he's back to you. His back is to you.
Oh.
Oh.
And he sleeps with his tail like this.
I sleep with my sword like this.
The tip of his tail.
Well, I slowly start.
That's a warning ritual.
As you start hearing some strange noises coming out of the tent, you might suspect it's a wild beast.
Do you hear that?
Shay! Food!
As Shay, you hear Shay. Food.
That was me.
Outside!
as I put my head over the shield.
Vanderson. I'm like 3 meters away.
as Shay with a deft and a quickness, because he isn't wearing his combat outfit yet. He's only wearing some linen slacks. They are quite run down and ratty. Probably older than he is, as he swiftly and almost like a cat jumps over the shield and hop.
Did I lose any fingers?
No, you didn't lose anything. Roll said no.
Dex save.
As I wake up, he starts to jump outside. I slowly start to put on all my stuff again. Put my shield and my sword away. Put my cloak over it so nobody sees it. And I slowly just walk outside.
As he walks outside of the tent and stretches, walks to the creek and splashes some water on his face, and he looks like his happy self. Good morning, everyone.
You've slept well, I presume.
Well, I slept. Every minute is a joyful minute, what?
What?
Every minute of sleep is a joyful minute.
That's fair.
So, how have you slept?
I don't really sleep.
No sleep?
Sleep is for
I
me.
go into a semi-conscious state and just rest.
Well, that's interesting.
Meditate.
Oh, my uncle told me once about it.
The uncle who also gave you photos, who also molested you.
You have a
I never
weird-
said he molested me.
You have a
It might be.
weird... Is it molested? You like it?
Whoa.
We're going off track right now.
Oh yes.
Veering straight off. As silence encompasses everyone. And everyone at the same time hears the same voice in their left ear. Shooting. As the sounds of the forest return once more.
I must be hearing them voices again.
Again?
Wait, have you heard them before?
Make a general intelligence roll for me.
That's it.
Matt?
That's a 7.
It's a 7. Okay. The voice doesn't match your thought. But that's everything you know.
Did you hear it?
I look up to the sky. Where's the sun?
The sun, day just broke, so as you look up to the sky and you look towards the side, you see.
I don't know, man. It's too early for this shit.
Did you hear it?
Yeah. But what did you hear? Did you hear the same as I did?
I don't know. What did you hear?
I heard shedding. Shedding?
Shadeen.
Shedding.
Sudan.
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 Oh, Shadeen.
What? It's my name.
Oh, yes, of course.
But
I thought you was called Shay.
you may be calling me Shay.
Ah.
But, wait, he heard Fake One, he heard Russell, I heard Dalaran. Why do all of us hear your name?
I must be important then, no.
Or you're the fake one.
As in very quick succession, sound fades and regains. It returns and it quickly disappears. As one by one you start hearing different things. Russell hears pain. Dalaran hears betrayal. Princess Sisi, Eldrith hears nothing. For almost 5 minutes straight, you are in soundless nothingness. It's like standing in one of those quiet rooms. One of those quiet rooms. The only thing you hear is the thrumming of your own heartbeat and the flowing of your blood. It's maddening. It's painful. It's too much, and the second you feel a little bit of doubt inside yourself, sound returns. I need you three to just roll a general wisdom saving throw for me. You need to roll high.
Higher?
Yeah.
Than those three?
Yes.
Oh fuck.
Oh fuck.
No, against my safety.
Yeah.
So,
It's an 18, man.
you manage to hold on to your sanity and you spot something during this strange event.
17.
You say.
17.
You say.
13.
Okay, you manage to hold on to your sanity. You don't witness what happens, so you won't participate in this combat.
Cool.
Because you are just being racked with terrible pain. In conjunction, however, might you be targeted, it will happen to you, and it will count as you being either paralyzed or prone. So it will automatically crit. You take, at the start of this event, you take 2 points of psychic damage for the maddening pain that wrecks your mind currently. As I want you three to pay attention. As this is happening and you hear these voices coming from everywhere surrounding you, you are the first one to see one of the trees looks strangely bent, broken up into strange forms. The branches aren't going the way they're supposed to go. Normally it folds out into a grand canopy to reach towards the sky which the horned god provides. As you see one of the hollowings of this tree open up into a giant eye. As you, Russell, see your newly gained wood elven, not really trustworthy, maybe you trust him, friend, being startled by something, you look behind you as you see the roots of inside the gravel start to coil upwards and moving in snake-like patterns all around you, starting to encircle this group of people.
Something's going on!
As you were staring up to the sky and suddenly you see what can only be described as bone and wood. You see intricately woven willow branches form hands and arms, being interlocked with pieces of almost bleached, perfectly white bone. And it's what you assume to be a head is made out of a deer skull, but the antlers have been interchanged with branches. And right on its forehead you see a rune in a strange language carved in blood, standing in between you four, as it looks to you. I need you to roll initiative. So, 22, yeah, I don't think it's possible. So, 22-15.
Damn. Oh.
Okay, so you are after the monster. 15 to 10.
14.
Yeah, not really necessary. No one else put up any hands. 10 to 5.
Rolled a 1 and a 4.
You rolled a 1 and a 4.
I have advantage too.
Yeah, I know.
That's terrible, man.
So it's
7.
still, it's fine. So, as you look downwards to the ground and you see this strange creature, you see thorns starting to poke out of its arms as it starts. You hear the howling of wind through a forest. That's the sound that you hear as it lunges at you. It's going for 1 attack. Natural 1. As you quickly are startled by this strange creature and sound, you manage to dodge its hands as it starts to walk backwards a bit. As its torso is still in your direction, as its head turns around straight towards him.
Ah, fuck, buddy.
Going to Shay.
Don't die, please.
As I look to the monster, is he behind the monster?
Yeah, the monster is in between you and him.
I'll be breathing mine.
Okay, so how will you do that without hitting him?
The monster is in front of him.
And what if he dodges his
Yeah,
head,
but
motherfucker?
if you put a flamethrower to someone, the person behind it also gets hit.
But lightning is something different.
It's a spray of lightning, it's not one bolt.
Don't hit me.
But you can try.
I'm going to try that.
Okay,
First session dead.
so do your breath attack. It's a line or a cone.
5 by 30 line.
Okay, so he will be in range shoot there. So something happen.
Buddy.
Thankfully it doesn't happen because he's on the floor being racked in pain, so he manages to Charlie Chaplin that shit.
That's 19 to be hit in.
That hits. Roll damage. Damage.
No, you must be making a save DC.
Dex
Yes.
of
8 plus 2, that's 10, 12.
okay. He saves, so he will take half damage.
Yes.
So half the damage.
Oh, wait. 7, so it's 3.
Okay. As this is happening, Russell, it has been a while since you have seen Shay pissed off. But when he's pissed off, he looks like a crocodile about to devour a zebra. As he inhales, you see his very thin chest puff up, almost comically so, and as he lets out a spray of lightning, the entire forest instantly is lit up with this quick flash of light. As you see the impact arcing through, some of the gravel is jumping through the air as the impact hits the ground. And it hits this creature. It does take half damage, because it managed to save. You just saw lightning happen in front of your face. As the turn rolls to Russell.
I am in range of this monster, I assume?
Roll a d20.
That's a 13.
You're 13 feet away from this creature.
Well, I use my movement to get up to the creature. And in that time I take my shield out in front of me. I take my sword, I lay it on top between the two spikes, and I charge.
Okay, as you start to charge, you see a quick glimmer of blackened and polished steel, almost streaking like silver towards this creature. I want you to make an attack roll.
That's a 17 to hit.
That hits.
And he would take 10 damage.
10 damage.
See.
Alright.
Alrighty.
As you charge towards this creature and you starting your stance, you quickly slam down your foot, gravel shooting towards it. It turns around to try to evade, but it can't as you quickly slice your sword through what you presume to be its arm, sliced upwards in one giant arc as this creature's arm falls on the floor. It's still standing, it's looking pretty pissed.
And I keep my shield and my sword towards him.
You can't keep a defensive stance, but you are wearing your shield for increased AC. Dalaran.
How far am I away?
Roll a d20.
13.
You're 13 feet away from the creature.
What? It's just the tree you said?
It's an amalgamation of woven wicker wood and bone.
Huh. Okay.
Its face is replaced by a deer skull. The antlers are made out of wood, and there is a strange rune in blood.
I am just going to use my bow and aim straight for the room.
Okay. Precision shot, so it will be at disadvantage.
Okay. That would be a 14.
14. Roll a d8.
D8. Where's my D8? There's a D8. 7.
7. Okay. As you line your shot, you start thinking, wait. You're physically unable to make the shot.
Interesting.
You lose your action.
Interesting. Noticing that, I'm just gonna take some steps back about 25 feet.
Alright. Make a sanity check. CC.
Event joy.
Yeah, so, wisdom.
This is not much. Where is wisdom? 8. It's not much. Not much. Oof.
The
Big fan.
wild god takes all, even its own followers, for you are nothing. You take 2 points of psychic damage,
I have the eraser grumbling.
and you lose your turn. Start of the round. You see this strange creature suddenly starts growing spikes of bone out of its one good arm and the rest of its body, almost like the quills of a porcupine. As it arcs its back a bit, I want you and you to make a dexterity saving throw. You automatically fail, but you don't take damage. As you and you need to make a dexterity saving throws because it shoots out quills made out of bone.
7 for me.
Okay.
And 8 for me.
Okay.
Big fan.
Both fail. As one of these bony protrusions enters your shoulder, Shadeen, you feel a quick, almost electrical shoot of pain going through you as you take 3 points of piercing damage. And Russell, for you it's more severe. As the bony protrusions start flying towards you, you manage to hold up your shield, and the impact of most of them falls silent up your 3 points upon your clinging iron. So it's nothing, but one of them graces the side of your face, and as you wince back a bit, one enters straight
into your neck. It doesn't hit your jugular, however you do take 7 points of damage.
Oh, shite.
As the turn rolls around to Shay. As you see the spray of blood coming out of Russell's neck. He's still standing. He's still firm.
I be taking out my light crossbow. I be aiming at his head. And I be shooting him.
Okay, specific position or just a shot?
Shooting at the head.
Okay. That's not a specified shot, so straight roll.
19 to be hit in.
That be hit in 9.
That's a 3. 3 damage, PSN.
How you gonna do this?
Oh, yeah.
First kill! It had 2 HP left.
Oh,
Just because of Russell's hit. Just
It was a full damage. How far I be standing? In front, right?
semi in front, yes.
Since it's a light crossbow, the board be exploding in his face, or his face be exploding from the board.
Okay. As you let loose the crossbow bolt, you say, "Look away!" And Russell quickly looks away for what's about to happen. As the crossbow bolt pierces through the skull of this creature, it shatters in a spray of small bone. As the rest of the root structure remains standing for a few seconds and starts swaying as it falls backwards into the ground. And as you look towards what happened, you can see that the crossbow bolt he shot was at the exact location you intended. As you come back to the world of the living,
Finally.
the overwhelming cacophony of maddening whispers have exited your mind,
Great.
but leaving you in doubt, because why would the Horned One punish me?
What be happening to you, man? It is as be you seeing a ghost.
well, I tried to take my shot, but something stopped me. I could not take the shot, so I retreated.
Does it seem to be familiar to you?
Certainly not.
Where would you be aiming at?
I was aiming at the head.
It's a strange way. I do not like these kind of strange things.
As you start to see a few black specks in front of your eyes floating. Oh wait, I lost blood.
As a pop second wind.
Hey!
And that will be for
Nothing.
11
Ah.
HP.
Nice.
That's decent.
Getting me back to full.
Yeah.
That's pretty decent.
As you see in a quick movement of his neck, as he puts his knuckles against it and he cracks it and he removes his hand, you see that the wound has closed.
And
Hey, even second wind can have a spicy description.
I rush to help. To, well, not directly tap him on the shoulder, but
Smart.
to try and confirm if he's alright.
Yeah.
What happened to you?
The same as earlier. Didn't hear anything.
Do you feel weak? Is there you feeling like
Shit.
yeah?
Yeah. I
Have
feel
some
like
water,
shit.
my friend.
Oh, thanks. What happened to you guys?
Well, we killed it.
What?
Well, I don't know what it was. Look at these. And I point out to the.
You see a bundle of twigs and some shattered bones.
It was some crazy shit. It was alive.
It was alive.
Can I make a check to see if it was all deer bones?
How do you want to check?
I just want to go, just check a couple of bones to see if they resemble a bone of a deer. Or
Make an
if it's-
investigation check.
That is 18.
18.
Okay.
Did you say something?
Yes.
Ah, jammer.
Okay.
How did the creature look when he was alive?
A strange dream, man.
Strange dream.
That like. Can I make a history or a religion check for these? To be knowing what it was.
You can try.
While he does that,
Designate and roll.
I'm gonna call Eldrinth over in Sylvan.
Okay? As
I'll be
you,
going for religion.
The Germans.
And
A 15 for religion.
in all your speaker knowledge and knowledge handed down to you from the great elders of your tribe, you have no history or knowledge in religion pertaining towards this.
I tell him about spine.
About what?
The bones were not all from a deer. The spine and femur were from a human.
Okay. Weird.
I say in Sylvan.
Fuck you.
As I see him looking at the pile of shit, trying to figure out if he recognized something, I go towards Bichet. Is there anything you recognize in this stuff? How could I be recognizing it? I don't know your past. Well, I'd be thinking hard, but my elders never told me about a tree attacking us. As I study a tree in the desert.
There are trees in deserts, yes.
Cacti.
Wait,
Acacia trees.
I start scratching behind my ear if maybe there is something
think you
I
are
once
thinking
read
right.
in the book of my uncle.
History. Well, you have heard about twig blights, but this doesn't really look like a twig blight. A twig blight are small, semi-fey creatures made of wood that act thanks to a magical reanimation. But this was way more obscure, like it was some heavy dark magic, it looked like.
Well, for one thing I know for sure, it probably will be have to do something with dark magic.
But Juju man!
Stay away from the voodoo man. That is what I should be saying.
Wasn't thinking that, but
And with this shocking experience behind us, before the travel even have started, mysteries have started to present themselves. As the group will make their way towards one of their destinies, should it be towards Gallows Keep itself or another location, all shall be revealed next week.
I shall be seeing in some bad mojo.
I hope you all have fun with our return.
I'm already intrigued.
same.
Good, good. I've been writing for a fucking long time, so you
You
should
have
be.
done well.
Regarding audio issues, it will be like this for a few weeks at least, because we're still figuring things out, we're still experimenting with volumes and everything pertaining towards that. So please forgive us, it's better than nothing always, and should you miss some parts of the story, you can always check the Discord next week to see the recap of the episode with the most important things. You can also use the Discord to discuss amongst people what is happening. If you want to post fan art, you are allowed to. The stream will start up once more. We will expand upon everything we have to make it a better experience, not only for you, but for us. Any Stan, say goodbye.
Good fucking bye.
God damn it! That's the stream, everyone. See you next week.
Bye.